Hey, what's up, everyone? This is David Greenspan, and I want to welcome you back to Season 4 of the Mindshare Podcast. Additional podcasts are available at mindshare101.com and on all the major podcast platforms. This week's episode is sponsored by Kids Keep in Touch Systems and the Buzz Conference. Now, make sure you hit up the Buzz Conference. In fact, tomorrow is Recharge 2022, and well, if you're listening to this on iTunes or anywhere that you are listening to this on audio, you're already late. You've already missed the show, but I got to tell you something. It was an amazing show. And although we're recording this just prior to the show, I can already tell you it's going to be amazing. I mean, the lineup is loaded. There's some amazing networking going on. Hey, if you were there, you know what I'm talking about. If you missed it, well, you missed it. Make sure you follow the Buzz Conference at the Buzz Conference on Instagram. Make sure you visit their website, www.thebuzzconference.com, and keep tabs on all the awesome events they are always hosting. Also, when was the last time that you checked out the Kits Cross-Channel Marketing Suite? Now, this is your full-on marketing tool set, starting with Loop CRM to help keep you organized. We got the most personalized and effective newsletters, both direct mail and email. We got social media content. We've got websites, landing pages, action plans, drip campaigns, open house registries. I mean, we've got tools that don't even exist in other places, and it's all under one roof, helping you keep costs down, helping you create systems and processes to, of course, generate a lot more business. Well, and of course, build that mind share so you get more market share. You can learn more on my site, mindshare101.com, by clicking on marketing. And as you know, we are on a push to get to 100 reviews on iTunes. And I'd like to ask you, if you haven't yet, please take 2 minutes. Go over to ratethispodcast.com/mindshare101. and leave us a big 5-star review. If there's a 6-star, go ahead and click that one too. Go ahead and tell us how much you love the show. And of course, as always, thank you in advance. Today's episode is number 174. In her pivotal role as business development manager, she brings a unique and multifaceted skill set to the Roy LePage Meadowtown leadership team. She has a passion for training and marketing and utilizes her strong business acumen and interest in systems and technology trends to provide agents with unparalleled support. She's the recipient of several industry awards and commendations, including the OREA YPN Leadership Award in 2018. And with 26 years in the business, she is also an ambassador for several real estate conferences and has volunteered in many real estate boards and associations over the years. Known as a tenacious social media networker, she is an expert connector. Vivacious, enthusiastic, and always optimistic, she finds her greatest fulfillment in helping others succeed. She wholeheartedly believes that the key to realizing a dream is to focus not on success, but on significance. Then, even the small steps and little victories along your path will take on greater meaning. This week on the show, I am joined by broker and business development manager for Roy LePage Meadowtown, Melissa Salazar. Melissa, welcome to the Mindshare Podcast.
Thank you so much for having me. I feel like I need to do some manifestation, and I'm just so pumped. Like, what a great intro, and obviously your energy and your voice. Like, I'm just like, it's like drinking coffee. So thank you so much for that lovely intro.
I'm not going to lie. I've had a little bit of coffee this morning, just a touch, but no, super pumped. You know what? It's a good week. Like, first, I'm excited that you're here, and I thank you for making the time today. Seriously, I'm excited for everybody to just share, because we had a nice, although brief, but a really powerful conversation the other day, which I want to extend and sort of transfer in today's episode. But much the same, it's been a great week so far. We're hearing tons of success stories from a lot of our coaching clients. And again, I think I mentioned it already, but we got the Buzz Conference going on tomorrow. I mean, come on, right? We're all getting back together in person.
I know, I'm super excited, and I see some great people here on the chat. So I, you know what, when I try to comment, it goes live. So in case, there's more conversations, I'm just going to like and try to comment a little bit. So thank you so much for all the support and all the love on the different channels. So looking forward to sharing with you, and feel free to ask any questions. I'm really excited in connecting with everybody.
Yeah, totally. And for our Mindshare Masters, the VIP room, make sure you're asking questions in the VIP room. Go ahead and type that in. Everybody who's watching on Facebook, thank you for joining us today. And I've got to say, the Queen Bee is in the house, sort of, kind of, from afar, virtually. Tomorrow to be for real. But just for everybody, so you understand, tickets are sold out. So if you didn't get one, Your loss, I guess. I mean, make sure you book the next one. Like, go get the tickets for the fall event. Do it now so you don't miss out. But no, seriously, Virginia, that's exciting. I'm definitely pumped to be there. So, Melissa,
Yeah.
reading the bio, I want to reread this for a second because I really love this. The key to realizing a dream is to focus not on success, but on significance. Then even the small steps and little victories along your path will take on greater meaning. Tell us more. Like, what is the deeper meaning of this to you? Because again, I read that and I kind of reread it a few times to myself, and I went, I really like that.
You know what? It's just through my career, there's just been, I'm a huge goal setter. And sometimes some of the goals are really feels like it's really like hard to reach. And so just the small little steps. Like I remember just being happy at my job. And I think I was in second year of university. I was working for a company and the manager just called, right? Well, obviously I didn't know who it was and I answered the phone, but I was really wanting to give great customer service. And then the manager actually, it was from a different office. I get a card in the mail and it just said, thank you so much for like just a great way of greeting. And I thought, wow, like sometimes you don't realize the impact and the significance that you may have as another caller. And obviously in real estate, there's a lot of emotion that's happening because the call could be a seller, a buyer, who knows what's happening in their life. So small things in my career has led me to just like small little tiny little steps that you can do to either reach your goal or just perform better. And so that's a little bit of how I came up with that.
It's interesting. I love what you said there, and I want everybody to really pay attention to that for a quick second because it's the small little things.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that we often get lost in looking for the big results every single day. And that starts to put a weight on us of, I went through my day today and at the end of the day, I didn't get that big result I was looking for. I didn't get that deal. I didn't get that listing, or I didn't hear back from that person. And we start to really let that ruminate in our minds, weigh us down and almost slow us down from how much we can actually bring to the table. And oftentimes we're so busy looking for the big win that we really forget that the masterpiece is painted by the tiny little brush strokes, not just throwing a can of paint at the canvas. Mm-hmm. It's got to be the tiny little things we do, right? So I couldn't agree more. Now, when we spoke the other day, we had sort of decided, and just the way our conversation had gone, that we today wanted to talk about creating memorable experiences. And as you even just started with that. Now, before we get into the client side of that, I want to start from the top and talk about what it takes to build yourself up in real estate and have the opportunity to deliver those experiences. And I again, we just mentioned in your bio that you have a strong interest in business systems and technology. So, how does an agent find their authentic voice, like that comfort place that you go, I'm comfortable with who I am. I'm comfortable with what I bring to the table. I'm comfortable with the way I deliver. How do they find that? What have you found? I mean, 26 years in the biz, you've spoken to a lot of agents.
Yeah, it's like a really discovery of yourself. So sometimes you have to ask yourself, okay, why am I in the industry? So you keep asking yourself why, like the same question until you really dig down on what it is that you like. Like you may really like just being a business person. You really like, helping families, or maybe you're on the commercial side because every realtor has their own niche, right? Everybody's a little different. So once you really break it down, why you're doing it, and sometimes once you're in year one, you'll rediscover yourself because obviously one thing is your perspective of what you believe real estate is going to be like. And another one is what it actually is. So I believe you have to ask yourself this question in different points in your career so you can align yourself a little bit better. And also to answer your question in terms of like how you're finding yourself, you also have to figure out who you are, but then also who do you want to serve? Because in our industry, it is about serving your clientele, your customers. So you have to figure out who they are. And in order to get into also like, their mind and, what type of servicing you're going to be doing for them. So it's a little bit of a mix of who you are, finding yourself, and who you're the clientele that you want to align yourself with. Like, who are they as well?
Another way to put it would be saying we got to find our people. Correct. Right. And when we find our people, we start to almost find ourselves, and I think that that's something too, especially when it comes to even social media and the connections on social media. We will operate in our realtor groups and we will talk to people within our industry. But I think that too, for everybody, the power behind social is not actually to just remain within the industry with people that but it's to go and branch out to, the things that you like. Like, I love hockey. I love baseball. I love my Maple Leafs. I love my Harley. I love my family. I love coaching. Like, I'm going to go find groups there where there's people that are sort of similar minded to me, that might have similar interests to me. That's going to allow me to converse more with those people, which means I'm going to find more comfort. We're going to build stronger relationships. And where does business come from in this business? The relationships, right?
Correct.
So finding your voice is huge. So, okay, what about the systems and processes then? Because that's something that we look at, we know that, what systems and processes should an agent have in place when it comes to running their business?
Sure. So you're going to love this one because it's all, we all start running the database, the CRM, right? Aligning yourself with a great CRM. You provide a great product as well. So just finding one, it doesn't have to be, all ones that has all the bells and whistles or the most expensive one or whatever. Just find whatever you're comfortable with. Mm-hmm. And not use it as an address book, use it as an actual, database management contact, almost like having an assistant to remind you of items. And there's obviously different features that CRM can have. So let's just start first with just your database, and then you can go on and let's just say you're talking about, like for me, I always think like in boxes. So for example, if you're thinking about listing services, I would really just sit down and say, okay, what are the services that you're going to be providing? Mm-hmm. Pretty much almost like a blueprint of your services, and then creating really a checklist. Like I really do believe that when we get busy, we don't have like the bandwidth to remember everything that's happening. So as long as you have a process that's systemized but written down, that's great. Now, next level up, again, there's different levels of, technology that you can go into. There's obviously different apps that you can use that you can, instead of having like a physical checklist that you'd like to print, you can have it on an app. You can collaborate later with an administrator, et cetera. But just figure out what the service that you want to do. Again, systematizing it by writing it down. And for whoever is out there that's feeling a little overwhelmed, if you're newer in the business, you're like, oh my God, there's so much. That's just the listing. What about the buyer? What about, for a lease or et cetera, et cetera. Always think, who can you get to support you on some of those items? Sometimes we don't realize what your brokerage is able to do. You really have to ask and really leverage of all the support that's surrounding you. And it doesn't hurt to ask a peer, like a colleague, instead of recreating the wheel. Even though you were going to figure out what services you want to provide, ask somebody. There's more people that are willing to share than one can think of. So I guess that's a good start to answer your question, David.
Yeah, well, look, and I agree completely. It's funny. So we've had this running theme lately, and is it time of the month? Is it just what's going on with the market? I don't know. But, speaking with clients of mine, especially my one-to-one coaching clients, looking at how much is going on in a day. Right. And we all wear like a million hats, and you can cut out 50% of those hats and still look at the hats and go, oh my God, I wear a ton of hats. And so looking at the time and saying, okay, first of all, we can't manage time, right? We can't stop the clock. Like, it's just going to keep running all the time. And I say that a lot, like no matter what I do with my watch, your watch is still going to keep ticking. From there, though, what I could do is I can empower time to manage me. So I start to block all my realistic time, all my personal stuff, hockey and the kids and everything else. Then I plug in the business stuff, and I always include my IPAs, my income producing activities, my calls, my email follow-ups, my emails to active clients, my calls to my active clients and to new leads and to even just clients that are in my database, my social media engagement and acting with purpose on social media, not just being all over social media. There's certain things that when we do in our day, non-negotiables, that when those are plugged in, we can now get those out of the way, generate a ton of new biz, and then go service the business we already have. Mm-hmm. And now we're always in this hunter mentality around just, constantly having things happening in our day. And no matter what we have, I mean, everybody's really, really, really busy, but managing it accordingly and making sure that we're looking at both sides of things, that's where the business comes from. So I'm curious, What non-negotiables do you suggest realtors should have as part of like a day-to-day for just to have that success?
Ooh, there's so many good ones.
Loaded,
sure.
right?
Yeah, because even going back to your answer, I'm like, yeah, there's so many more things that I can talk about, systematizing, but I could honestly, like, it's my jam. I could talk for the whole hour. Yeah. I didn't want to get too nerdy or too techie. No negotiables. Sometimes it's almost like, because I love Tony Robbins, it's sometimes priming yourself. It's all about your mindset. It's funny. It's mind share mindset, right? I know you believe in all that. So I know you talked about your scheduling and all that, but it's almost like you're on. So if I'm having a bad day for X, Y, Z reasons, I'm not doing possibly any income producing activities just because something is waiting over me. So you really, really have to snap out of it. And sometimes in this industry, because it can be tough, I speak with colleagues. I'm like, oh my God, it's taking me a day. Or, I was speaking with one of my panelists for the Buzz conference, and she snapped, like she is like on fire. She says, I don't have time. I'm too busy for things to consume my mind. So therefore, I'll just take a minute. I was reading a blog from another peer, and the same thing, like we all deal with these things. It's just almost practicing on how fast you can just get out of that, that negative mindset. So a non-negotiable for sure is making sure that you're ready, and then you're ready to like just have a great productive day. And, aside from that, then obviously, like you mentioned, it's all about what's in your schedule, like scheduling your activities, etc. So yeah, non-negotiable for sure. Your mind's going to be right, especially in the morning.
I'm going to piggyback on that right now and say that, for everybody right now, there's three things really that you could do. Number one is at the end of the day, schedule yourself for tomorrow. Okay. So go into the database today, look at tomorrow and plug it all in. You're going to have things that you got to do personally, plug it in. You're going to have meetings that are already scheduled and falls already scheduled, plug them in. Then look at the blocks of time that are open and fill those with your income producing activities. What that does is that it lets you wake up determined. Now, just before you go to bed, after you've done your scheduling, I want everybody to practice gratitude. Okay. Go and write down what you're grateful for. Go and recognize the good things that happened to you today, not the negative. Focus on the positive. When you're done that, there's no more opening social media. You let it be. Don't go read the news. Don't go listen to social media. Go shopping on Amazon if you want. Go read up on sports if you want. Go watch your favorite TV show. Go read a book. Okay. So the second thing was gratitude. The first one was scheduling. Second was gratitude. And the third one, okay, because the scheduling and the gratitude is going to allow us to go to bed satisfied. We know the scheduling is done, so we get to wake up determined. Just before we wake up, like any sport we would practice, none of us would ever get into without warming up. Before you open social, before you open email, before you let the world in to this thing, go read a book. And we'll listen to what you said a minute ago. Why? Go review your goals. Remind yourself why you're about to get into this rat race again today. This way, when you wake up and you're thinking, oh man, there's so much to do. Oh man, stress. No. Check it out. See the goals? Yeah. What you want to achieve? You see that schedule you planned out? Yeah. Go do it. Go get it. And that's how we become machines, right? That's how we win more.
And also, David, to add to that, like I love to, like I've been in the industry for quite some time, so I love what I'm doing, but I have fun. So therefore, like I know my passwords, I will change them every year, but it's something that I want, or there's a keyword that I'm going by that year. So all my passwords are fun, or even when I have Calendly and it messages me, I will have like a funny, like not a funny saying, but like a motivational saying, like I'll be too corny to say it, but whatever. It's just like something just to keep me going, because when you're a realtor, your business is your own business. And so I like to, send myself reminder messages as well. And you said it great regarding, all those items about, 5 minutes in the morning, the journaling. So I was so good at it, and I kind of stopped, I'll be honest. I would write down things that I'm grateful for, just things that I want to do and accomplish that day, et cetera. And I was, again, talking, it's just fresh in my mind because the Buzz conference is happening tomorrow. So I was speaking to another panelist, and he was so confident of the future. Like he was saying it like, you know how it is, like manifestation, like it's already happened. It's like, I know exactly what I'm going to be in 2 years and 3, but the way he was saying it, it's not just saying it, he believed it. Like the way he was saying it was just like so powerful that I literally got my book and I did a story on Instagram. I'm like, thank you. Like I started writing on my journal already, just exactly what you want. So those are great points that you mentioned.
I don't have the time to go over today how many things I've written in my gratitude journal where I've manifested for them to come to life by writing them. Like I'll write it down tonight as if it already happened, and it could happen tomorrow, it could happen in a week, in a month, whenever. I've already written it down. And I'll tell you now that the more you write it down, the more you believe it, and the more you focus on it, when it comes to life, your jaw hits the floor. You go, oh my God, try taking me off that now. So I know exactly when you talk about that person you were speaking with, and he says he knows it's happening, 100%. And that's exactly how we do it. Right? Yeah. That's exactly how we operate in our day. And now a lot of people have stresses doing that and think to themselves, I don't think I could do that. I don't think I can achieve that. Yeah, but that's an excuse. That's the wrong mindset. And so, Melissa, to you, I'm going to tell you straight, put it in the calendar and say it tonight at this time, I am going to do my gratitude journal. Yeah. Now, if you like to do it in the morning, is what I've got. I don't need to put it in my schedule to say read review at 6:30 a.m. I don't need to put that in. I know that's what I do, but I still put it in because it's called building a habit. Trigger, action, reward. I trigger myself by putting it in. I see it. I take action. I do it. I reward myself. It's done and I feel better. Now I use that same theory through every item I have to do in my day. By the end of my day, I have conquered more than most people conquer in a year. I had somebody say that to me this morning. He goes, man, you got to slow down. I'm like, dude, if I slow down, I'm not going to get enough done. And I told him straight, I says, I'm going to do more today than you'll probably do this year. Now, I was being funny with the guy. I know the guy, he's a good dude. But the point is, no, I know where I want to be. I know where I'm going. I'm going to keep going. Let's go. Right? People have been to the moon. So everybody tuned into this right now, you can do it. Put your mind to it.
I'll be honest, like before, because it's been lately, like in the past several years that it's all about journaling. Before, what was really trending was doing vision boards. So I'm a very visual person. So I wouldn't write what I wanted to manifest. I would put it on a vision board. I actually did a scrapbook and each page, different themes. Oh my God, David, let me just tell you, like, it's insane. Like you said, I'm like,
mine stares at me all night. It's right there beside me. Like it's staring at me at night. When I wake up and I open my eyes, I'm like staring at the stuff that I'm not that I want. I'm staring at the stuff that I already have. It just may not be in my possession yet.
Correct. Oh, right? I love that.
Okay, check this. There was the dream home. The picture is on the vision board. We found it this past summer. We actually turned it down, which is kind of freaky because you go, but it's on the vision board. Okay. Right. But that was a sign for us. The way we took it, Jennifer and I, we took it as, we got it. See, check. But it wasn't meant to be the one we were moving into. Right. The other one was being on stage. And again, there was one where she put up like a photo on the vision board of me on a stage, screens and all this stuff. And I've told the story before, but like we did an event and then we were at the airport waiting to fly out. She looks at this photo she took on her camera. She's like, oh my God. It was pretty much a splitting image. And those are just two examples. I could go on. Anyways, I don't have time for it. Yeah. Trying to emphasize the power for people to understand, like, this stuff works, guys.
Yeah, it's simply, it's incredible for sure.
Talk to me about marketing. Because I mean, this manifestation conversation, like I could go on and on and on. There's a lot of people that are like woo woo or hocus pocus. Like I can't tell you this is the most powerful tool you have. And when you write stuff down and you take a little book and you put it in there, your thoughts come to life. And then when they start to actually like really come to life for you, trust me, you're going to be saying the same thing as I am. Like nobody can tell me any different. But anyways, marketing, which is also a conversation you and I both love. What are some examples of what you're seeing is really working for agents right now when it comes to marketing?
Oh, I like, we're getting some comments here. Manifestation. I can't even say it. Manifestation.
I know. I just did the same. Manifestation.
Yeah. Okay. So what's working in marketing? What's making, I love marketing. I love to just, oh my God, between colors and logos and messaging and just doing makeovers of items. It's all about, digitalizing the experience, making it more interactive. QR codes, obviously, we all know that it's back, but just remember, you want a funnel. You want to take the audience or whoever it is that you're trying to connect with somewhere. So whether it's your website, whether it's to fill out a form, a lot of people are using, for example, I'll go into print and digital. So a lot of people are using, those little almost like a link tree, those kind of like almost like little landing pages for the bios for social media, and already putting a Google form docs to like fill in, if you're looking for something, whatever it is that, pre-construction or whatever it is, new listing, just fill in here in the information and you're getting that information. So really leveraging a little bit more your social media and what it is that you can do. Second is print. So aside from QR codes, the same thing, having, taking them where you want it to go. And for example, in our company, we do these brochures and we can make them a little bit more interactive. Therefore, it's in a program that it looks like a magazine. It has a magazine noise that, that flipping of the page that looks gorgeous. An agent could put their video talking about the property. They can do a tour of the property. And I know when, during the last 2 years, we weren't allowed to do open houses. And I got more into those live open houses or those walkthroughs that even though there's a gorgeous picture of a closet, but until they don't open certain things or they don't, there's things that pictures can't give you. So you can actually add that in your brochures. Again, QR codes or, setting in the link. So just leveraging a little bit, just that little extra that you can do to it that can actually show you as an expert realtor, knowledgeable of your product, which is, for example, in that particular case, a listing, or you can do stats. I'm now listening to a lot of people out there, and people just don't only want the monthly stats, image. You need to discuss it. You need to explain it to somebody. So again, you can provide a booklet with stats because some people really like to see the numbers, graph charts, etc. But add your voice to it. Add the video component to it. So marketing is not only a beautiful thing to see, but it's also can almost open up other senses for yourself, right? Not just a visual, but then getting to know you, the audio now. So it's it's pretty amazing how we've evolved from back in the day for sure.
Well, we say that a video a picture tells 1,000 words, but a video will actually tell like, I guess, 1,000,000 because the video actually brings the picture to life.
Correct.
Right? And hence why we continue to emphasize to everybody. I know people are fearful. They're uncomfortable. I've said this before and I'll say it again that, if you got up this morning and you got yourself ready and, you did your hair, you might have done makeup, you might not, you look in the mirror and you were comfortable enough, like you had the nerve to walk out the front door after that, you can do video. You're all good. You got this, right? So, but you got the idea of video. I like that you brought up the QR codes. They are something that kind of came in and then went away, and they are really, really back now. I agree with that. We've been putting on the Kits newsletters forever. So we've always got a QR code there, which links back to like a personalized mobile site for each of our agents, which has a landing page, which can then, have a form to fill in, which goes back to a funnel, goes into the database for ongoing marketing. I mean, it's the whole thing that you just brought together. That's exactly it. It's that connectivity and giving people the ability to learn more about you, to experience more, to get more. You mentioned the magazine and the flipping of the pages. I mean, right away, the first thought that came to mind for me was the Buzz Digital magazine, right? It's exactly like that, where you go there. And again, for everybody that hasn't gotten a copy of that, make sure you go grab that. New copies every single month coming out. So the Buzz Digital magazine, but you go there and you can flip the page, right? And then you can go back. It's like you're reading a magazine, but it's on your screen. These little things begin to help step up what your brand looks like. Begins to help step up what your voice might sound and look like, right? And this comes back to our, being our authentic selves and finding what's our brand, what's our message, who are our people. And it all culminates back to the marketing. Now, I'm curious about the people side of things. In your experience, dealing with the agents, do agents in general see more of their business from group number one, people they know, or group number two, people they don't know?
If they're from the past, you're comparing it from the past till now, or
just in generally speaking, if we took 10 agents right now and asked 10 agents, are you seeing your business from like contact list, repeat, referral, or are you seeing it from like total random strangers?
So I would say the majority is people, obviously, that you know. It's your sphere. There's a level of trust that you can't just, beat sometimes with, getting flyers from other agents. But if you already have that relationship, because again, you mentioned it, all goes back to relationship, 1,000% that way. But there's another group of realtors who are just killing it on social media and just putting themselves out there. I really believe that the whole mentality of getting yourself on video is already done. Like everybody knows it. Like it's about consistency. So the agents who are being consistent on social media, and a lot of them have planned, or they video batch on a day themselves, or maybe with a marketing company, but they're just out there. They are finding a lot of business through that way. And so that means you don't know the person, but because you're so out there, that person feels like they know you. Like, for example, I don't know Chrissy Teigen. I don't know if you know her. She's married to John Legend. She's okay. Well, she
Heard of him.
Oh, okay. So she's married. She's married to John Legend, and she doesn't know me, but she's raw and she can be a little rude, but I find her funny, and she's got a cooking book, and I don't really enjoy cooking, but let me tell you, the next time I cross the border and I go to Target, first thing I'm going to go is I'm going to get her like cookware and whatever it is, Chrissy, because I feel like she's my bestie. Like, she's not my bestie, but I mean, she will, obviously she's a model. She's in a bunch of TV shows. She's out there, like, she's credible in her field. But I feel like I've gone to know her because she's let me in her home. Again, we all know it's whatever she wants to let you in. So I still don't know her, but I feel like the clips that I've seen through stories with her family, what she's going through, her everyday, her relationship with her mom, her friends, I just adore her. So for sure, there's another wave. So even though the majority going back is people that you trust, that that they know you, that you're knowledgeable, there is another wave that is, I'm not saying yet is higher than the other one, but it is, creeping up a little bit, the numbers nowadays.
And you know what, I'm going to back that up too. Those people on the social, first of all, there's the idea of spending a lot of money on it, and there's the idea of actually getting it organically. And what it sounds like to me is that she didn't pay to have you connect with her. She just put out content, and she did it consistently. One of my favorite words, consistency is the magic ingredient to achieving anything you want in life. And you said it bang on. And that's where it comes from. It's not just being there with the video, but it's being consistent about the video. And I would say, and I'm, correct me if I'm wrong, but she puts herself out there. She lets people in. She hasn't spent a penny to do that. And because she's consistent, you have now attached yourself to her, and you feel like your besties, and you want to buy the stuff though. You want to engage more with her. Right. So that, again, that didn't come from the paid ads or anything. That came from purely being engaged and networking. Now I'll take that too and play off that for a second. We did say in your bio, and I mean, I don't have to say it in your bio, I know it, but a tenacious social media networker you are. Explain to people what that really means, okay? Because I think that we get lost on getting up every day, scrolling social media, which is the wrong thing to start your day with, which I know I already said it, but I'm going to say it again because I want everybody to really listen to that point. But getting up every day, doing the social media thing, we've got to act with purpose. Right? We've got to spend the time wisely. So what does it mean to really work social media the right way so we're not wasting time just scrolling?
Oh, I can say lots of things. So first of all is, there's two things. There's people for people to know you. So sometimes it's just, I want to post because I want to be consistent, and therefore this is what my day is like. And it could be, if you feel that it's correct, you could be talking about what you're drinking, what your day is like, taking a picture of what's going on right here, because people kind of want to know a little bit more about you. If you're in sales and therefore you need to showcase knowledge, product, information, answering questions that are common from your clients, etc. So putting that on social, but truly, generally connecting with people. So if, for example, if I do see, as an example, I saw a colleague that she created the blog regarding what was happening with mindset, etc. I saw it, the link. She read it. I called her right away. She actually answered the phone. I'm like, oh my, I said, honestly, like, thank you for writing that and being so honest. And I'll call her out. It's Natalie Weed. Amazing blog. Great. You guys should check it out. And I said, thank you so much for sharing that, because that was really, very humble of you, like very open, very honest, very raw. And it resonated with me. And then we start sharing stories. So, obviously she's not a client or anything. She's, she's a friend who I'm connecting with a little bit more, but that's just an example of what you can do with your clients. So, another key thing, if I know for example, for myself, and probably for many others, we have a lot of friends that are realtors. So we're following them, which is great. But if you're following a client, make sure you put that little notification to let you know when they actually post, because you want to connect with them, or, being a little bit more intent. So to answer your question, there's a lot of things that people should do in order to connect with audience members in different levels in what your day is like, because they're wanting to get to know you, whether it's work or personal. And again, you set the limit there of how much you want to show the world. To be intentional with the clientele that you are seeking, making sure that you're connecting in more of a relationship level, not just salesy. And then 3, show, why would people want to use you for your services? You got to show them. You got to let them know that what you're doing, what you're talking about. I know back in the day, everybody used to post more about showing property. And I still see it, showing properties, which is great, because sometimes we're like, ooh, I do want to take a look at the house, and I will follow, if it's a really cool house, I'm like, I want to see it. But talking about it, not just, I love it when the agents show, oh, I'm seeing properties. This is what you get for this amount, educating the audience, not just about how pretty the house is.
Adding the value.
That's right. Adding the value in there. There's few realtors who are just really doing an incredible job out there. And it's very engageful for everybody, not just like consumers, like audience, the public, but even our realtor community. It's a great thing. And I hope people use social to be professional as well. I'll just throw that in. I sometimes see things that are not as professional. So they're, the line is kind of getting a little blurry there. So just making sure, again, if you're on social and your account is for business, to not only keep it professional, but educate, because if that is your intention for business, it's all about the consumers, what it is that they want. You have to know what your client wants and do that. It's not about yourself too much, right? It's more about what you can offer for services for your clients.
Okay, that segue is perfect to move into this next sort of part of it outside of the marketing aspect. And I could keep going on marketing. I wanted to bring up online leads and favorite marketing tactics, but I think in this moment right now, as you brought that up, and I think it's important, right? Because we just did a podcast recently, a few weeks ago, with my friend Sandra Kirkland, who's absolutely amazing. And, I know for everybody it was a very jarring title to the episode. And this one was episode, I believe, 172. We talked about how realtors are single-handedly destroying the real estate industry. And just as everybody just dropped their jaws on the floor right now and said, what did he just say? First of all, you probably didn't tune into that episode then. And really what it was meant to be, which it was, ultimately was a very empowering, uplifting, positive show where we talked about what we can do to be better as an industry, what we can do to be better as individuals, and how we can shine an even better light on our industry and on the people who are amazing in this industry, so that the public looks at us and says, we need a realtor, right? And that's really the ultimate. And, talking to social media is a perfect segue because, as we say, an agent is doing all the right things, and they're bringing on clients. To get repeat and referral business, we know that it's all about the experience that people remember, right? It may not be the tiny little things that happen, but those tiny little things, like we talked about off the top of the show today, those tiny little brushstrokes paint the big picture. It's the little things that happened along the way that create the entirety of the experience and what people will ultimately remember. And then that's going to set us up for more business or potentially less business, depending on how we do it. Now, you and I, when we spoke the other day, we had talked about the Ritz-Carlton, and you had brought that up about how they go next level in ensuring that their guests have the absolute most amazing experiences. And so I guess the question here is, as you brought that up from a social media perspective and kind of how we go about it, and we've talked about our voice and our authentic voice, how do we create a memorable experience for our clients? And I mean, I'll bring up like professional approach at every interaction. Your marketing, your branding, follow up, open communication is crucial. What would you say again when it comes to like that experience? And I mean, sort of extending on some of the conversation we had the other day as well.
Sure. So again, it's all about knowing who your client is. So, for example, if it's more of a person who's more of an investor, a flipper, so maybe it's not to say memorable experience could be a lovely gift for closing, because it's not, it's a different type of transaction. It could be, a month from now, you give them a really good report of like how much more the value of that property has increased, just knowing who they are in order for you to actually create that, that experience. I've been talking to a lot of realtor clients or friends that they really get to know who that family is. And therefore, for example, their closing gift is more of a emotional gift because they've gotten to know them. Now, speaking of with the Ritz, they take it to a different level. They're very, what I love about that is that they're listening. So it could be a family just sitting down for dinner and the waiter brings, the food, but they catch a part of the conversation and they make a note, okay, someone, for example, forgot something and they're missing it. So the Ritz gives all their employees a $2,000 budget that they can use this on, again, these unforgettable or memorable experiences for the clientele. And therefore, maybe the next day or by the time that they go upstairs, whatever it is that they were missing, it could be already waiting for them. There's lots of, there's a really great book and there's lots of different not ideas, examples of, how far they go along to make that experience totally change and have that connection. So again, it's knowing, who your clientele is and what it is that they actually need. Aside from what you said, like, for sure, customer service has to be on point. If you say you're going to do something, do it. Like all those things for sure. Like, I think that's also, it brings up loyalty, which is another conversation, loyalty for the customer, but that memorable experience is it's your secret sauce that you have to make it along, to just change, that whole transaction, that whole experience of them. I know that there's agents that I talk to that they're so detailed with, like, let's just say it's somebody new who comes in from a different country. They don't know, rec centers for kids or the schools, or here's this, or here's some like a Facebook group for, the moms, there's usually different things regarding schools, etc. But thinking about them and what it is that they may like. For example, I was talking to a friend who is coming from a different country, and we both wanted, because we love cleaning products. We love like following all these accounts. I'm like, here's a list of Canadian, like amazing clean, like, just being thoughtful, but being genuine and finding something as well. Obviously, it would be great if it's something that you guys have share in common, right? Hopefully that answered.
Yeah, no, for sure. Thoughtful, genuine. I mean, that's a big part of it, right? I think that as we go through it and we think again, from a marketing perspective, from, the approach, like every single time we're with our clients, professional. Every single time we're with another agent, professional. Every single time we talk about that, an agent or anything about our industry in front of our clients, it's got to be professional. Right? Because that, again, creates an uplifting experience. We look at the branding. You talked about the social media. People are going to look you up. What are they going to see there? They're going to see a lot of bitching and complaining about other people, or are they going to see a lot of, personal stuff and uplifting stuff and empowering stuff? And it's not that you got to go out on a limb and start to become the guru of making everybody feel good. It's more about the fact that, are you bringing a negative or a positive vibe, right? And then look, you look at the communication along the entire way, right? How often do you communicate? How do you communicate? Do you make it sound like you actually care? You just said, are you listening? Right? Because when you listen, you learn. When you listen and learn, you can then apply a solution. When you apply a solution, this is what we call, this is like sales fundamentals 101, right? But this is digging for the need. Asking open-ended questions to people to learn as much as you can while you listen to then apply again the solution. And it just goes, it's this awesome cycle, because the more you do that, the more you're able to serve things up for people, the more they look at you and they go, thank you. Right. And that's how you get more deals. Now, on that, once the deal has been closed, Melissa, what do you feel an agent should have in place to ensure a positive, to ensure the positive experience that they created, that it lives on? Does that make sense? So we've done a transaction, everything's good, but it's now signed. We've put pen to paper. We're done. I got my keys. I moved in. What do we do after?
Sure. I believe there's sometimes two types of realtors, transactional and ones that are more personal. For transactional, it's more an automated about, sending on Christmas cards. Again, having a program to help you keep track of all this. Maybe there's, certain milestones or, almost like a little market evaluation when it's their year or 3 years or 5 years, et cetera, different things. Now, if you want to connect more, not just a transactional, they're both professional. They're both different styles. There's nothing wrong with either or. It's just your different style of how you're, dealing with your business. And there's different styles of business models, not just in individual realtors, but, in teams, et cetera, and how they want to handle their business moving forward after closing. Now, there's that side. And then there's one that you've gone to really know the family and their kids and et cetera. So it's remembering all those little things, like maybe that person is due to have a baby and writing the message there and just getting to know the person and just remembering of the things that they've mentioned to you. So for example, it could be about they're back to school now. So let's just say the closing happened in June and it's in September. You may want to follow up with the client and be like, hey, how, is, so-and-so adapting to school? I wish you all the best, or whatever the case may be. So just being thoughtful, but again, having a system to help you remind you of those key dates would be, for me, the biggest advice. I do want to comment something else on the previous question as well that you mentioned about, because we were gearing everything towards realtors, but I also want to, whoever's listening here that might be a manager or might be a broker owner, it's also, I almost feel like how we do it, I guess, in our brokerage is that whatever we teach to the agents, it's good to also teach to your current support team. So therefore, if you see an agent that is super busy or stressed out, multiple offers are happening or they're printing or however it is that their day is going organizing, maybe just offering them, do you need any help? Or, just being thoughtful on what a person may need would be very, very good, in terms of just that. Customer service is not what we teach just to the agents, to the public, but it's what is in-house as well. So just wanted to say a little something there.
I like that. I like that. And I'm going to piggyback on that and say that is where we create the culture, right? And that's where the culture exists. That's where it comes from. And once it comes from there, it starts to just spread in a really good, positive way. And then we empower a lot of people. You mentioned the word follow-up, and I wanted to ask you, we know the money's in the follow-up. I sort of said I wasn't going to go there, but I'll kind of wrap it all together. Chasing online leads, going after anybody, and it could be online, it could be offline leads. It doesn't matter where they come from. But the point is, we get this new business and we haven't converted it yet. So we have to follow up. The other side of things, we get the business, we do it, everything goes incredibly well. We get the deal again. Like we said, it's, everything's done. We still got to keep that client experience going. And again, that's part of the follow-up, right? How important is it to have a really solid follow-up system in place, be it for the new lead and or the client that we've already done the deal with? How important is follow-up?
Oh, it's It is your business. Follow up is it's like almost like what I was referring to, just having something as a reminder to connect with the person. So following up and also do different things. So for example, okay, you closed on a property, you still want to have that connection with that person because that person will talk to the neighbors. Or even if you did have an open house on that property, you've gotten to know obviously the neighbors usually kind of want to peek in almost like a testament to see what their house is worth, right? So just always having a great relationship and knowing, the geographic farm area that you're wanting to follow up, as well as those online leads. We know you got to be on. Like if you're actually paying to get online leads, which you have no connection, there's no trust, they haven't seen you, they just want information. Oh, it starts from just replying automatically. And then from that, you do need to have like a system created in order for you to engage with them to follow up, because there's no connection there. So therefore, you may be spending the money, but if there's no follow up to the follow up of the follow up, so you gotta have some type of automated email campaign or a funnel that you're putting them into, reminders for you to make a call, etc. So follow up is everything, and it's so painful. Like I know some agents are amazing at it because they love it. And some agents, are not so keen on it because it can be, tedious, et cetera. And therefore there's loss of business in there. So I hope that people just, really, really put it earlier in their day to make sure that gets done. And that is your source of business. Like follow up is key in everything aside from the CRM.
I think you said it perfectly there. Follow up to the follow up to the follow up, and then follow up again. And like jokes aside, everybody tuned in, jokes aside to that. Seriously, the difference between you winning and you hustling and doing more and achieving that next level is whether you're going to put in the time and the effort. Because Melissa just said it, and I'll tell you straight as well. We all hate doing it. Right? We all hate putting the notes and doing the next schedule. Like we all just want to sign deals right now. We don't want to have to work for anything. Nobody wants to put the hard work in. We know though, nothing in life comes easy. Nothing that we really, really want. And follow-up is one of those things. It's tedious, but it is where your business comes from. And if your follow-up system is not in place right now, you get one. And if you need help, talk to me. Okay. I will give you the steps to do that, exactly how to do it. Because that's exactly what we work on with everybody we work with, because we all need help with that, right? As one piece of our business. Now, again, marketing, I could talk to you for days, but we started with this one off the top, and I'm going to come back to it. The Buzz Conference is happening tomorrow, and I know that you have a big hand in organizing that. I've seen the lineup. It is loaded. I am so pumped to be on stage over there tomorrow. You truly do play a big role. I know Virginia speaks the world of you. Talk to us, hype this up. Like, what can everybody, be looking forward to? What are people going to be, the people that aren't there, what are they going to be missing out on?
Oh, there. Yeah. No, this is the event. I just love the fact that it's live. There's, it's sold out. People are traveling from all sorts of places, not just from the States, from Europe. Like it is nuts. Great lineup of speakers. There's a Buzz Inner Circle volunteers. So many different surprises along the day. Great vendors, lots of servicing. Lunches included. There's so many speakers. Even after the afternoon. After the morning session is done, there's 6 different rooms that you can attend for every 30 minutes or so. A lot of collaboration. A lot of, I'm a big networker. Like I can't wait to see so many friends and colleagues that I haven't seen from different areas. Networking event happening tonight. And again, I can't take, I just play a tiny little role, on the Buzz Conference. I'm very passionate regarding, events, conferences, learning, networking. Again, the love that I have for the industry is real. Obviously doing it for so long, definitely passionate about it and every aspect. So aside from, with the current role that I'm in, just connecting and learning from each other. And people, as I mentioned earlier, people are willing to share. So hope to see so many people here from your Mindshare podcast community at the Buzz Conference. Make sure, feel free to, come up to me, engage with me, connect with me in social. I'm happy to be of help. Or even if you didn't attend and you're wondering, hey, I wasn't able to get the tickets on time, or hoping to, come to the next one, but I'm looking for this. So it doesn't mean that I have the answers for everything, but I'm a good connector. So I can say, hey, talk to so-and-so. They spoke about this, or this person here and there. So I'm happy to be of help for those who are attending or who missed out on the event. So really excited to see you there tomorrow as well.
I am super, super pumped. We got a session lined up for everybody that, I'm telling everybody right now, get there early, and get the seatbelt on, because, we're going to be lighting that room on fire. We're going to have a lot of fun tomorrow. So seriously, join me. 2:45, I think I'm in the RBC Theater. So very, very excited about that. But I know that you guys have been working really, really hard on this tirelessly. Like we said, the speaker lineup is amazing. There's going to be vendors there. There's going to be a lot of different things going on. It is definitely the place to be tomorrow if you're in the real estate industry. So make sure, for everybody that's tuned in live right now, you join us. For those of you that are listening to the audio, you've probably listened to this too late. All jokes aside, make sure you follow the Buzz to understand just what's going on, and keep tabs on the next event. But Melissa, back to you here. Question for you. How do you know it's been a successful day for you?
Ooh, okay. 2 ways. One, it's so funny. I'm a big kid in heart. I love colors, Sharpies. This is just one. I have 2 other ones there. I like a big checklist. I'm still a paper person for some things. So I have my to-do list, and it just feels great checking off the items. And if I'm coming close to the end of the day and I haven't I'm like, oh no, I'm getting this done. I got to check off the items, right? So I just feel good about checking off things. I feel productive. Aside from that, there might be some things that I'll admit, sometimes I want to finish more than I can probably handle. But I know if I did big things, and I feel, accomplished, even though there might be some items that I wasn't able to, it's just the feeling of getting it done. Another item would be, as you mentioned, getting your agenda for the next day. So there's some items that I actually just use and just send the next day, 8 a.m. Right. So either for a reminder or just for other items. So yeah, just getting those checklists for me just makes me feel really good about my day. I'm a very hyper energetic person. And so I feel if I have my check marks in place, the world is good. My world is good.
I so operate the exact same way, and I will tell you, and I say to everybody, the checklist is amazing, the to-do list is important, and the checking it off is that little reward. When we talk about habit, trigger, action, reward, that's the reward of, hey, you did it, right? And that's the one where nobody's going to come up and pat you on the back and tell you how great you did. When you do the little check mark, for yourself, you are winning. So the more you've got that list set up. Now, I will suggest to Melissa, to you, to everybody, a to-do list is going to get a lot done. When you attach times to that list, you will get it all done. Last question for you. Mm-hmm. What final words or tips can you share with everybody who's tuned in to help themselves get out there, build a lot more mind share so that they can get more market share, especially for this upcoming spring market?
You know what? Again, going back to my original point, just because, the business can be hard in any type of market. Right now, we're in a crazy market that sometimes I find realtors are doing extremely well, or some of them are just finding it a little hard. It is very challenging, if you're going on multiple offers or you're showing properties and you're driving different areas, et cetera. So it's all about priming yourself right from the morning on your mindset. So I believe with that, and you can take different methods, whether it's, manifestation, writing goals, vision board, anything that will set you to get your mind on right and just have an amazing day and feel that you're productive is key. Aside from all the other things that that one should have in your business, whether it's, what services you're providing, having a to-do list, et cetera. So just I really believe that if your mind and your heart is aligned together of what you're wanting to accomplish, just get that mindset right from the beginning. And then anything is possible, like we talked about, right? Anything is really possible. So hope, to engage with all you guys. If you have any questions, like I can really go down deep on some of these topics that we've.
I know.
I'm like, you have no idea. Like I'm.
Well, let's do this. We've done I think we've done a really solid job of taking everybody through a journey today of how to create a memorable experience, from talking about finding your authentic voice, to the systems and processes you need, to the marketing, to the experiences we're creating for people. We've really covered off to follow up and the importance of all of that. I think we've really done a good job today of defining that. And I encourage everybody to, go back and listen. If you didn't, maybe take a pen, take some notes on it, and really start to break it down. If you have questions, of course, reach out to me. I would say reach out to Melissa, as she just said. In fact, Melissa, where can people find you if they want to connect with you outside of the Buzz Conference tomorrow?
Of course. It's first name, last name, and the number 8. So it's Melissa Salazar and 8. You can find me. I'm more into Instagram. I do check out Facebook, but you can obviously have fun with me with living through my stories, and I'll be sharing lots more of what I actually do and how I help agents on the different aspects. I do want to say that we talk about memorable experience, and just sometimes think like, what was your last experience that was memorable? What company? What did they do? What did that make you feel? See if it's something that you can implement on your own business, and hopefully that will lead you to discovering more things that you can do to make that different change for Q2 that we're already starting in.
Some great final words, Melissa. Thank you so much for joining us, and I can't wait to see you.
I know. See you.
You're either listening to this on iTunes, iHeartRadio, Google Podcast, Stitcher, or Spotify. Or maybe you went to my website, mindshare101.com. And while you're on my site, make sure to download your free copy of the Ultimate Marketing Bundle for Realtors. This is a 31-page ebook packed with a ton of tips and tricks for you. Plus, there's a ready-to-go 90-day social media content calendar to help you build more mindshare so that you can get more market share. And if you want to talk about personalized one-to-one coaching to help you get to your next level, just get in touch with my team. We'll set up a free strategy call to learn more about what you're looking to achieve and how we are going to help you do exactly that. Also, don't forget that our Push to 100 is on, and all you have to do, and this is super, super easy, just go over ratethispodcast.com/mindshare101. You can do that right now. ratethispodcast.com/mindshare101. Give us a big 5 stars. Give us a nice review. Tell us how much you've loved the show. And seriously, I'm very grateful, and I thank you. And of course, if you haven't yet, connect with me on Facebook at Mindshare101 and on Instagram at David Greenspan 101. I want to once again thank Virginia Munden and the Buzz Conference for sponsoring today's episode. Be sure to visit their website, www.thebuzzconference.com, and follow them on Instagram at The Buzz Conference to keep tabs on all of the awesome events they are always hosting, along with getting the latest copy of the Buzz digital magazine. And of course, I want to thank Kids Keep in Touch Systems for sponsoring today's episode. If you haven't checked this out yet, just go to my site, mindshare101.com, and click on Marketing. This has been another episode of the Mindshare Podcast. Thank you for tuning in.